Good evening and welcome to the GamingKin podcast, and welcome to us doing it once again live.
That sounds wrong, man.
Wished you.
So things will get my ball gag.
I've been doing the podcast live. I felt worked quite well last time, so we shall give it another shot again. We did plan to do it on Saturday, but I was absolutely loaded with the cold.
Yep, not for dying because you got the sniffles.
You're the one who didn't want to get infected, mate. So,
Because I have survival instincts.
I don't know how I caught it, probably from work.
Oh god, food industry, right, okay.
Customers.
Oh, fair point.
But yeah, so what we're going to talk about is the best of a couple of certain topics in our opinion. We're going to cover some news,
Yeah.
but we're going to actually start with some opinion, which
Okay.
is also slightly a little bit news.
Yeah, a little bit.
So it would have been on the Thursday after the last podcast,
Yeah.
if I remember
I
correctly.
think so.
BioWare released a video teasing some Mass Effect upcoming.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've looked at Reddits, I've looked at opinion forums and things, and seen people going Mass Effect Original Trilogy Remaster, or they're going to fix Andromeda, or we're getting a sequel to Andromeda and it's going to fix everything, and so many things in between,
Mm-hmm.
like things linking the original trilogy to Andromeda and things like that as well. So yeah, we're going to probably discuss opinions on that first, I believe.
Overwhelming opinion from both of us is yes, please. Essentially, I'd absolutely love a remastered trilogy. Like somehow getting the graphics up to the level of the third one from the first two would be beyond amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, my body is ready, effectively.
I would definitely like to see a remaster
Mhm.
of the first three. I would also like to see them maybe doing something with Andromeda. Hopefully
Like
trying to
binning it?
fix it.
No, binning it.
Fixing it.
Stop letting it, let the dead horse lie. It's done, it's gone.
But yeah, no, I'm more hopeful for something to do with the original trilogy rather than Andromeda. But I mean, I really want them to fix Andromeda because it had potential.
Yeah, at the very, 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 very beginning.
Yeah.
Once it was released, it was all gone.
Yeah.
You
Sure.
can't fix that. It's a completely different game they need.
Yeah, that is true.
Essentially, it's like what's it? The Final Fantasy. What's the online one that had to basically get shut down? Then reborn?
14.
Yeah, so basically that's what Andromeda needs. Put down, then build up back up again.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can do it in the way of they did with Final Fantasy 14, they just completely shut it down, relaunched it as 2.0, aka A Realm Reborn, and yeah, that would definitely work. Provided to get the right team.
No, just a full theme instead of what we had the last time, which is a couple of dedicated professionals, but just not enough people,
Yeah,
and then not enough time.
yeah. It was because like EA was putting the pressure on them to just pump Anthem out though.
Look how well that went.
Yeah, well that's getting the Final Fantasy 14 treatment right now.
Seriously.
Yeah, they are restructuring the whole game.
Because it's pants. I was pure up for it. I was pure amped for it.
Yeah,
I've not even played it, and I don't want to play it.
I have played it, and it's that way. It was kind of enjoyable to play for a while, and then it got to the point where like you're going to need to start spending money other than the money you spent to buy the game,
Which
to
isn't
progress.
exactly cheap. Well, no, it is actually. I think it's like fucking £20 now.
I don't actually know. I have it on PC, right?
Mm.
But I've got EA Access
Right.
or Origin Basic.
Mhm.
Basic. You know, I don't have Origin Premier or Beta or like the higher level ones. I've got the one that's $3.99 a month,
Not bad.
and I can get Anthem, Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5's on it.
Wow, isn't that like glitch just out?
That was the one that came out last year. The one we were talking about looked really interesting. War stories, blah blah.
Ah, right. There's also one interesting the woman and everyone kicked off and like that wasn't realistic. And you're like,
Yeah.
It's a woman at war. Yes, it's realistic.
Well, I seen, they're on there. I actually mainly got it for the Mass Effect games. And then once I'd done that, I ended up actually buying the Mass Effect games. So that if my subscription for it lapsed, I didn't need to like wait and all that. I could just play them whenever, or if my internet was down.
Okay.
I ended up buying them anyway. But I've got Mass Effect Andromeda on that. I've got Anthem, Battlefield 5, Sims, a couple of Need for Speeds. All that stuff. I should mention, with us being live, do feel free to join us in the chat if there's anyone watching, which there isn't right now. But I wasn't paying attention to the bit that said 0 viewers. But you never know. People might come in and then just rewind it and start from the
possible.
Or they might have just been coming in at that point. But yeah, back to the point I was making. Yeah, I would love to see, a remaster of the original trilogy. And actually, one thing I want them to do is change the ending. Not change the ending in like anything drastic, but see, instead of it being a choice, they take care of Paragon and Renegade.
Yeah, that's what everyone wanted them to do.
It's more Paragon, choice A, and if you're roughly about equal, middle of the road, B, more Renegade, C. I can't remember which choices lined up best with which alignment, but I'm just using that as an example.
So, like, the good one, it's one I chose, because, I'm awesome. It was the Fusion one, so it was the green one. The Renegade one was one where you basically killed all of them. And then you made them blow up, essentially. And then the creepy one was the middle one, where you enslave them.
Yeah.
And you're like, wait, what? They're literally living things. But yeah, sure, let's enslave them, because, that's good.
Yeah, I would like to, instead of, I would just like it to take, say give it a variance of 10%. So it can be 5% higher or lower on each of them. And that determines middle of the road, So if they're both 100%, that's middle of the road. If they're like 75 and 70, middle of the road. 75 and 69, that's one or the other.
Yeah.
Just an example of them being quite close. Like, cause I'm assuming you'll have played through all 3 of the games. And
you have to. By law, you have.
Yeah. And carried your shepherd over rather than created a new one each game.
Absolutely fucking that. With it, sometimes the design elements don't pass over.
Yeah.
I remember from my first one to my second one, some elements didn't pass over, so I had to remake them slightly. So
yeah.
That was bullshit.
I never had that issue. The reason is I use one of the presets.
Fuck yeah.
I do, like, that one where you can choose a preset, like you create your custom shepherd, but it gives you presets that, and then you can just make small tweaks to it.
Right.
Rather than creating a full new shepherd from scratch.
No, I did try that.
I went in a custom, used one of the presets and just made a couple of tweaks.
No, I shouldn't do celebrities.
That was literally just, that small tweak was literally just hair colour. Change it from black to red.
Funny enough, my guy was ginger, my initial one. Crichton Shepherd.
Mika.
Fair enough. Wait, the singer?
No, like the online name I use for most of my online game avatars.
Fair enough.
Final Fantasy.
I
use it. Final Fantasy 15 Comrades, I used it. I think. I can't remember if you could change the name on Comrades, but if you could, I did change it.
Alright.
Yeah, most. And custom characters for offline games. Skyrim, all that. Pokemon. Use the same one.
Cool. Mine came from Farscape, which is arguably the best sci-fi show ever.
Stargate.
Farscape.
Stargate.
Farscape.
Stargate.
Definitely Farscape.
I'll meet you in the middle. Babylon 5.
Nope. Still Farscape.
Firefly.
You bastard.
There we go. Meet in the middle. Meet in the middle with Firefly.
Yeah, okay.
Right, there we go.
Left, Farscape.
Still not as good as Stargate. Teal'c for the win.
He's alright. When again, he does the voice of Kratos, so he's got my infinite respect for that.
He is good. So, before we start talking about all other things, we clearly can't stay on the topic.
No.
Because we're just getting dragged down so many other tangents.
Used to, yeah.
So let's talk about our best of the decade.
Mm-hmm.
We have, was that 12 things picked there?
Yeah.
So we have decided which order we're going to do them in.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the first one we're going to talk about is probably the one that normally would be best saved for last.
I'm good.
But it's just because we're doing it top to bottom really and just moving a couple of other ones around. So, best video game of the last decade?
Well, considering, for me, we just talked about it. For me, it's Mass Effect 3. I just think Mass Effect, the entire trilogy, was just something that touched a lot of people. Just the story, the depth of the characters. For me, the best kind of game is something where the character's development is not just your own character, but your teammate just matters so much. And the third one is just the culmination of all of it. Yes, the ending was pants. It was pish. But everything up until that edge of your seat type shit, man.
I honestly think that the ending, the way that they done the ending was fine. It's just it shouldn't have been a choice. It should have taken
just being like
your Paragon and Renegades levels. That's all they needed to do to keep the ending the way it was. Instead of offering you the choice. Yeah,
the choice was weird. But again, I suppose it kind of fits into the idea of Shepard's always had the choice.
Yeah.
So in terms of internal story, it makes sense from the point of view of like the actual character, but from the point of view of the player, you like really played almost 200 hours, like 180 hours on the game, and then it's like, whoa, fuck you, lad.
Yeah.
Fucking raging. But no, honestly, I felt like aside from the ending, until the Yester's DLC has been released. Unfortunately, I've not yet played it because it's a big time sink in much time nowadays.
Which DLC?
Or it's like no, it's not like it doesn't like a race landing, but it kind of smooths out some of the questions.
Oh, the Final Cut.
Yeah,
I got that. Yeah, I've got it. It's really good.
Damn it. Anyway,
and literally, if you just install it, you can play from your save just before the ending, and it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't. You don't have to replay through the whole game for it to change the ending. Work all the issues out.
But yeah, so yeah, that's mine.
I went with what a lot of people have said. Kind of just feels like the go-to for a lot of people this year. This decade, when talking about one of the best games, is Nier Automata.
Okay.
I've yet to complete Nier Automata, right? And I still feel it's worthy for this for being in this list and for being in that category, and my personal winner for that one, because it's a fantastic game. It's a combination of bullet hell games, hack and slash, RPG, shooter, because you just run around with half pod shooting everything down. Puzzle game. Sometimes it goes side scrolly, sometimes it's top down. It incorporates so many different things. There is 26 endings. I literally completed the game in 5 minutes by getting ending T, where you kill yourself. You remove your OS chip and then you just go boom.
Wow.
Some of the bosses that I've fought, I felt can be kind of Dark Souls-ish in the way of they're not incredibly difficult, but they really do require timing. And if you don't have the timing down, it's going to take you a couple of attempts. But handily enough, what you can do is every time you die, you start back at level. I think you start at level 1 and all that, but you got to find your body, pick it up,
get
all your experience points back, all the skills you had. It puts you back to as you were before you died, but with full health.
So take it if you die after you've died, then your body goes.
Yep.
Fuck right.
You have to basically start from scratch.
But if you pure level yourself up before you collect your body, does your previous experience get added to your?
You run your body, pick it up, and you're good to go.
So, but before that, you can't like level up anyway. You're stuck at kind of level 1. Oh my god, fuck that.
Normally you respawn. Normally you only die in a boss battle and you respawn in a chamber anyway.
Oh,
in
right.
a boss battle chamber. If you die out in the open world, then either you're majorly distracted or majorly shit.
Oh, okay.
Says someone who's died a few times in the open world from being majorly distracted.
Uh-huh.
Maybe that fight against the Ingalls, that was a bit shit. It's just a nice mix of a few different styles of gaming. The art style looks amazing. A lot of people complain when a world doesn't feel lived in. There's not a lot of people there and all that. But they get away with it in this game.
Yeah, it really highly depends on like the genre and the whole point of the game you're going for.
Yeah, well, it's not like because see if you played GTA 5 and there was like no one in Los Santos, you would be like, well, what's the point?
Yep.
You know, it's really really poorly designed. But because it's like the human extinction and the humans are on the moon. And they're not on the moon, spoiler alert.
Good, I never played the game, so I'm just fucking confused. The closest I've gotten,
basically it's a whole
half the
convoluted
first
story where there's no humans on Earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
And because there's no humans on Earth, it doesn't feel lived in, and it's not meant to feel lived in.
Yeah.
There's animals and all that.
But it's meant to feel like abandoned, basically.
Yeah, and there's there's other androids around, and there's machines. Some friendly, some not. And yeah, it's it doesn't feel lived in, but it works because of the setting.
Right, so is this a direct sequel to the first one?
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no. Yes and no. They're very highly connected, but it's not a direct sequel.
So is it not his daughter?
No, you play as an android.
No, alright, again, I know the first one.
Actually, plays 3 androids. 2B, 9S, and A2.
Oi. Okay. Right. Very confused, but okay.
But no, it's a fantastic game. It plays super smooth.
Super smooth.
Yeah. Coming from a background in sound engineering as well, the music and the sound work is just epic. It definitely covers all the bases for me. There are a lot of games in the last decade that I could have put here and wanted to put here. Final Fantasy 15, Mass Effect 3, I also wanted to put that, but I knew you would either pick that or my other one, which would have been Dragon Age Inquisition. There were a lot of games that I wanted to put there, but they all there was always somewhere along the line that I went, but this.
Yeah.
And Nier Automata is the only one where I didn't go, but this. Well, I did go, but this, but the bit this was, but I haven't completed it yet.
Ah, gotcha.
But I've seen so many videos and heard so many people talk about it that I know pretty much everything that's going to happen. And I'm in Final Fantasy 14, the current 24-man raids
Jesus Christ.
arc is all based around Nier Automata.
Alright.
So, because it's Square Enix, it does. Square Enix is the publisher of Nier Automata and they're the developer of Final Fantasy 14.
So I get to what you fuck about as much as I like.
So they can cross over. They also done the same with Capcom, with a 8-man raids, which turned into an 8-man trial, which turned into a 4-man trial from fighting Rathalos from Monster Hunter.
Oh right, okay.
They also had a tie-in with Assassin's Creed, or that might have been 15. That was 15. They've had tie-ins with an anime called Yokai Watch.
Oh god, right.
They've had tie-ins with a couple of things, as well as 15, because they did have the tie-in with Assassin's Creed and Terra Watch, Terra Battle. I can't remember which it says. It's Terra something. But yeah. So the fact that it's also got the tie-ins to Final Fantasy 14, a game that I play a hell of a lot of, also kind of works out well for me as well.
The bad.
Yeah.
Alright, so next one is the best RPG. If you've ever listened to any of our previous podcasts, etc., you'll pretty much know I'm a BioWare. How the word is that? Whore.
Fanboy.
Fanboy. Yeah, fanboy sounds better. So more or less, I do love most of BioWare's content. Well, what I played. So for me to pick an RPG from them that's only for just for me the best one, it was solid. Personally though, I'm gonna go with Dragon Age Inquisition. Just because honestly it was one of my favourite games at the time. I absolutely loved it. It was the most fun I've had, and just one of those games that's just really, I think it's really well thought out. You got so many good characters. I always love the banter. It's a beautiful game series, and I honestly love it.
Yeah. Played it. I thought it was an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
Art style was amazing. World design was fantastic. Sound was great. Character development. The whole. It was an absolutely fantastic game.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And I really can't argue with you on it. But I didn't pick it.
Good.
For two reasons.
Okay.
A, there is a game that I did prefer more.
Okay. Fair enough.
And B, I knew I didn't want to pick the same as you. So I just stayed away from Dragon Age altogether. I didn't know if you were going to pick Inquisition or Origins.
Oh, that's a good point.
But I did know you were going to pick Dragon Age.
Only reason I didn't go for Origins is because I feel like we built on the bones of Origins with Inquisition in terms of just upping everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, Origins is very closely tied to it. Fun enough, I do love 2 as well, but 2 always gets a lot of stick.
And I'm going to preface mine with the same thing that Mark said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fanboy, I'm just passionate. Cause I've picked something by Square Enix. That would be the amazing 2.5D RPG that is Octopath Traveler.
Oh my god.
It's such a beautiful world that they built in part 2D, part 3D, which is why it's 2.5D. The almost 8-bit, 16-bit maybe, pixelated character sprites with the full HD 1080p effects of all the moves, the music, the story, the character development, class development. It was an amazing RPG. I'm still playing through it right now. I don't actually ever seem to get the time to actually finish a bloody game. I get to near the end of a game and then I'm just like, I'm going to play this game now, and yeah, too many games, not enough time.
Yeah, word man.
But I do always get around to finishing every game that I start, but it may be a couple of years down the line.
Yeah, I really get that. It's unfortunate. It's a pure pain in the ass.
But yeah, Octopath Traveler has to be my pick. It just, I think Mark would probably have more to say on it if he'd actually had a chance to get a shot of it, because Mark doesn't have a Switch
Yet. Planning on it, not soon, but next couple of months. Or if I win the lottery.
I definitely think that if you're going to get a Switch, you should do it.
Yeah. Okay, right. Next one is the best shooter, which has also been paraphrased of all types. It's not just first person or third person, all of them. So for me,
You got Mass Effect.
Yeah, one of them's Mass Effect. Alright, so basically mine is a split between 2 different games, both sequels. So Mass Effect 2, because its gameplay was so massively upped from the first one. Well, the first one was great in terms of story. The gameplay, so the first one had the whole issue of overheating, which is pure pain.
Yeah.
So it was the second one that brought in the ammo.
Yep.
So that made obviously made it more standard in terms of shooters, but just the whole gameplay in general, the story, all of it was beautiful. And I think that was when you first started introducing heavy guns as well.
Yes.
Yeah, so that was a highly different kind of gameplay. You're like, oh my god, must get this because there's a big fucker coming right at me. So yeah, that was my first half. The second one to split it with is Red Dead Redemption 2. Because, oh my god, that game is not only beautiful as hell, but the gunplay in it is solid as fuck.
Yeah, I've not actually played it.
Oh man, you deserve to play it. I think the most mental thing you'll ever come across in that game is a bear. Like, you don't think bears are that fast, the fucker's far away, he's big enough just to start shooting, piss him off, then 2 seconds later, you're getting ripped to shreds. It's... wow.
I've also done the same as you.
Yeah.
But I've only actually written one of them down.
Oh, okay.
Because I had the one I knew I was going with and one that I was toying with, but now that you've split it into two, going with one and one,
Okay.
I'm gonna join you on that boat. One is a first-person shooter. One is a first-person shooter that when you're not aiming is a third-person shooter. Yeah.
Alright.
And my first-person shooter, Call of Duty, Black Ops 2.
Okay, right.
Now, I am not a big fan of Call of Duty,
I wouldn't have guessed.
but I will say Black Ops 1, 2, and for most parts 3, I thought were absolutely fantastic. Best storylines in the Call of Duty series. I ignore Call of Duty 4 because it doesn't have a story mode, it does not exist.
It's nothing.
Anyone who tells me that Call of Duty 4 is a thing shall be shot in Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Accurate.
But yeah, no, it really brought a nice fun story element to Black Ops, and you also had like the maps and all that, which is in all the Call of Duty games. You had the story, which is in most of them as well. But I just really enjoyed the fact that the story kind of followed an arc through the 3 games. They weren't completely connected, but there was like kind of callbacks to the previous games and as the games continued on, and yeah, that was what I liked about it. That was why I quite enjoyed that one. And my other one, Sniper Elite.
Ooh.
Specifically 4, because it's 4 that I played most.
Not gonna lie, that's one game I've been looking at on Game Pass, and I keep toying off. I'm like farting for going, oh, you look good. But only thing that pissed me off is a sheer shitload of DLC. I had to like go and see a game. I'm like, no, that means that game's fucking half-assed, surely.
No, it's a lot of fun. What happened was they released a full game, and then as time went on, they started bringing out packs for guns that aren't any more powerful than the guns already in the game.
Alright.
It was cosmetic.
Oh, fuck, right.
And then they also had a couple of maps and solo campaign missions. Like they've got one solo campaign mission in 4, which is straight up just can you kill Hitler.
Tempting, very tempting.
And I can tell you that the DLC stuff is actually really quite good. I got it all cheap, all the DLC on PlayStation when they gave Sniper Elite 4 away for free as part of PSN.
Alright.
It must have been like back in September or something.
I have someone might get it because it's one of those games I keep looking at thinking, like, 1, it's bright as hell, 2, I love sniping, but and 3 just looks fun. Yeah.
Now, if like me, you're not particularly good at shooter games, there is cadet mode.
Ooh.
Where you have slightly more health, can take more hits, and bullet physics is not a thing. You shoot and it goes in a straight line until it hits something. And as you continue to play, get used to the controls, get used to the idea of wanting to play with bullet physics. You can turn as you turn the difficulty higher, it gets more and more realistic.
Okay.
So regular, it drops a little bit. Veteran, it drops a lot. Hardcore or marksman, I can't remember what it's actually called. It is full on real bullet physics. Not only does it drop, it gets blown side to side by the wind.
So you will try to kind of like aim your shot and spend like 2 minutes going, right, okay, one's going this strength, he's going in that direction, it's going to fall something a bit higher. Wow, that's kind of cool. And
I've played that mode, and the only downside to that mode is not only do you get one shot kills if you can hit them, so do your enemies.
Oh wow.
1 shot, 1 kill.
Ouch.
It's a lot of fun to play.
It does look really good.
Not gonna lie. But yeah, it's definitely a difficult one.
You've ensured me that you've never ensured that's going to get downloaded. God damn you.
I would definitely get the mission packs, and
Yeah, I
for
think
sure.
that's the only thing I might consider. Everything else, fuck off.
the rest of them is all optional. It's like the maps are for multiplayer,
Don't do multiplayer.
and you've got 2 types of weapon packs. One that adds new weapons. Again, they're no more or less powerful than weapons already in the game. And you've got ones which are skin packs.
Alright, so pass them both.
I've got a couple of them. But again, like I said, they were cheap when it was on PSN for free. The DLC was cheap. The game itself was free. But maybe we should head on to a bit of news.
Yep, sure, let's go.
So we'll do two news items, and then we'll come back to this list. And the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that E3 2020 organisers, the ESA, are looking to shape up things amid flagging industry attendance.
Because it's dear as fuck and always in pure random countries. Well,
No,
far away.
it's always in Los Angeles.
Yes, that's not like a cheap one, is it?
No. But last year you had no PlayStation. Nintendo were part of it, but what they done was they done their stuff live streamed instead of actually being there. It was the same with Square Enix.
Then.
I think you had Microsoft there. You had EA there. I can't remember who else was there, but the point was, while there were some who took part in the E3 press conferences and it was covered by E3 or the ESA, they weren't physically there. It was all live streams. So the ESA, or the Entertainment Software Association, said on Thursday, which would have been not Thursday there, but the Thursday before.
Okay, yeah.
I think, yes. That is committed to keeping EA at the level you've come to expect, with surprise guests, amazing stage experiences, and access to insiders and experimental zones. And that mirrors a plan that was leaked in September 2019 to recast it as more of a fan media influencer festival, rather than it being where people go to show off the new technologies that they're bringing, the new games they've got coming out. It's where everyone can go and meet the teams that are making the games, rather than the teams that are making the games going and showing off what they're doing.
Nah, I prefer what it used to be.
Yeah.
I like the idea of was it they had in Marvel? Because initially was it the Stark Expo?
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me. Going out, seeing what they're doing, how it's going to change industry, that's cool. No offense, unless I get to know you, I'm not going to say, right, I'm going to go and meet these guys.
Yeah.
No offense, obviously some people I don't know made some of the games that I truly love.
Yeah.
Just means I don't know them as, enough to go and say, yes, I'm going to go and fly out to meet these people. Also, influencer festival.
Yep.
Instagram folk who are gonna. Oh my god.
Your Twitch streamers, your YouTubers. I mean, yeah, sure, we're YouTubers within the gaming industry, but we're not quite the level of influencer yet.
I hope never to be.
I don't know. I think if we say,
oh my god,
the Mass Effect remake is absolutely fantastic, people will listen to us and go out and buy it.
Wow.
That's technically being an influencer.
No, I don't want to be an influencer, thanks.
No.
That's just a level up. No, is it a level up? No, it's more of a level aside from people in Love Island and shit.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. People on Love Island are many levels down from what we are.
Stop.
They are people who are
saying we. Influencers are like people from Love Island. Something we.
No. People on Love Island are many levels down from what we are. We are 2 guys shooting the breeze. They're people on national television making an ass of themselves for 5 minutes of fame. They're completely different.
Yeah, but then if we get on another show, it's not 5 minutes, so.
Yeah. But then they become famous for the sake of being famous.
Which is more or less what an influencer is.
Not always.
Such as?
Sir Chris Hoy.
He doesn't count.
He's an influencer within the world of cycling. Because he's
a
what?
great cyclist.
Yeah, which makes him an influencer within the world of cycling.
No, don't even.
It's true.
Influencer in that way is not that way, and you damn well know it.
Anyway.
Thank you.
I'm going to use my time as an influencer very well. We should all be buying the Rebel Whopper from Burger King.
The what?
The Rebel Whopper.
The fuck's a Rebel Whopper?
The Rebel Whopper is...
Wait, is it made from Rebel Wilson?
No.
Okay.
It is amazing and...
What is it? It's amazing. No, Jack. What is it?
Right. It's going... It's something that... this is really fucking hard to explain, okay, right? Because it tastes amazing, and it's something I never thought I'd see Burger King do. They're trying to fill a gap in the market, and then instantly taking themselves out of that gap in the market at the same time. It is a plant-based burger patty, and it is flame grilled like the beef Whopper.
Right.
So it is essentially a vegetarian Whopper. It would be vegan if they took off the mayonnaise.
But we won't, because duh.
But the broilers that they're cooked on are the same ones as the beef patties, so it soaks up all the beef juice. So therefore, it's not suitable for vegetarians or vegans. They filled a gap in the market for a bloody decent vegetarian burger or vegan burger if they remove the mayonnaise, and then cook it on the same grill as beef, and then take it right out of that market.
Well, to be fair, like, do you have outfitting every Burger King within our area for cooking, just for one thing, which might not take off?
Because they've already got a couple of vegetarian things.
A salad doesn't count.
They've got the veggie bean burger.
Like you would cook that
I think they fry it.
Okay.
But tell me that doesn't. I've got the flyer for one here. I've had a couple. They're really, really nice.
I'd eat that anyway. Like me and Becky have been having like tofu and corn.
But tell me that looks nice.
That looks decent.
And
the Rebel Whopper is plant-based, however, is cooked in the same broiler as our original Whopper to have the same unique flame grill taste. Due to certain cooking equipment, it may not be suitable for vegetarians. The fact they've had... Oh, wow. Wow.
But it does also say, like, 100% Whopper, no beef, powered by the vegetarian butcher.
Well, to be fair, it's not saying it's going to soak up like the same juices and stuff. It just means like contamination in terms of being in contact.
Yeah, but it also takes it out of the vegetarian market.
Yeah, strictly the vegetarian market. But if you're someone, which is this is what we're applying to, meat eaters who want maybe to try something not meat.
Yeah.
So that's a bigger market, to be fair, than vegetarians who wouldn't go to Burger King anyway.
Yeah. I think they're just hoping people misread the small print and.
Well, it's there. It's not exactly small, to be fair. It's a good section.
Yeah.
It's not like you're hiding in like the smallest fucking font. It's like, no, dude, that is there. Like,
yeah.
That's a good what. Like,
but it's on a thing full of coupons. So if you just take the coupons off the bottom off,
well,
that's no longer there.
Well, that's not their fault.
It's because they printed fucking coupons.
Well, obviously.
No. Yeah. Well, how did we get onto this?
Influencer.
Right. Yeah, but no.
Stop and continue.
So for those who don't know, the ESA, or the Electronic Software Association, includes members, it's a group which includes members Activision, Blizzard, Sony, Microsoft, Bethesda, Ubisoft, EA, Epic, Wizards of the Coast.
That's what I was looking at. I know you all use that one. I'm like, Wizards of who the fuck?
D&D.
They're there? Why?
I think Wizards of the Coast also make Pokemon cards.
Huh.
Okay. So yeah, they've been kind of pulling away from it in the last year, especially with the release of personal information scandal that happened last year, where it was just lying on a desk, everyone's names and numbers, and they all got doxed.
Sorry.
The battle with legislators and the US Federal Trade Commission over the topic of loot boxes. Is it or is it not gambling? I'm not going to get into this argument today because it is fucking gambling.
God damn you.
And we always come to it. Don't worry. I've got some fun ones for you to listen to.
That's weird. Okay.
And as well as, Trump constantly targeting video games as being the reason behind school shootings, or a big reason behind school shootings.
But the man's a complete orange fanny.
The man looks like he's had a shower in a bag of Cheez-Its. What's-its? Doritos.
Or you mean
Tango.
he's fallen? Sorry, wait. So he's fallen into a pool of crushed what's-its wet.
Yes.
There you go. Sadly, just drowned in there.
So
would you drown in a pool of crushed what's-its? Would that be classified as drowning or choking?
straight up suffocation.
Huh.
I don't know, it depends on how far down you are, because if the further down you are, the more is on top of you, so
Yeah.
you could actually be crushed.
Crushed by what's-its or crushed? Wow.
The ESA have been running this since 1995, when it split off from the computer technology show. I can't remember what it was called.
Stark Expo.
It wasn't the Stark Expo.
I wish.
It was like the computer technology show or something.
So?
I can't remember, but before that it was something else. It was part of something else. Actually, it was something I talked about in the first podcast in 2018, in January of 2018.
Okay.
I actually talked about it because it's because you still get games-based companies there, but more hardware manufacturers and peripheral manufacturers. So we're talking about HyperKin showing off one of their really cool things, where it's for Android and Apple devices. You put it in, if you've got a Game Boy emulator, it works as a Game Boy controller, and it looks like an actual bottom half of a Game Boy.
Alright, cool.
Things like that. And in 2017 they opened up the exhibition to the public instead of just journalists and insiders. They're trying to bring back all the developers and that have been kind of going away from doing stuff there. Like Microsoft don't actually go to E3. They go to the Microsoft Centre down the road, which is close enough they can say it's E3, but they're not actually participating in E3 at the E3 conference. It's things like that, and Nintendo doing most of their stuff via live stream, and Sony just not even bothering turning up last year.
Because it's getting to a stage where they don't need to.
Yeah, well, they do. They have their PlayStation Experience 3 times a year, and basically, one of those 3 times a year is essentially roughly when E3 is on. So it was just out of convenience that all the press were already there, everyone was already there. They just went, well, we'll do this one at E3, and they just decided, you know what, we'll just do it wherever you want to do it, instead of having to do it at E3. They also rebuilt the E3 website with more security from an outside cybersecurity firm to bring back people's confidence after the data breach. So for anyone who's interested in going to E3, the public registration starts 15th of February, which is next Saturday. It's about $250 for 3-day pass, but then you're going to also have to take into account food and travel, travel expenses to and from the hotel and the hotel itself.
So essentially, fuck that.
Yeah, it's probably going to cost you about $2-3 for 3 days.
So essentially, like, half your month's wages.
Yeah.
No.
And the event this year is from June 9th to June 11th. And I will be hopefully watching all the live streams this year.
I have no idea yet.
I'm going to try and get Marc to take the weekend off and join me.
We'll see.
Bunk out at mine for a weekend. Next up is the news that Activision Blizzard and Google have teamed up to make all of the live streams for Call of Duty, Overwatch and Hearthstone now exclusive to YouTube.
I'm not gonna lie, as a gamer, I hate the fact these are esports.
Overwatch League is that's team that's team based 6-on-6.
No, I get it, I understand it, I just hate it.
I like Overwatch. Call of Duty, don't mind that one. Hearthstone card game. Not a big fan of Hearthstone.
I like card games, but again, esports is just like in a lot of ways. I'm very much that's cool, that's new, I get it. Esports, man. No, I just
No.
no.
See, I think what they should have done for signing a deal is they actually signed a joint deal with YouTube and Amazon.
Doing it on Amazon would have been good.
Not doing it on Amazon Prime Video, doing it on YouTube, but using AWS for all the because one thing that comes out of this deal is the use of Google's Cloud AI tools.
Good what? Cloud AI?
Yep, to offer curated recommendations for in-game
Cloud
offers.
AI. If you said Cloud AI, like what the fuck's a Cloud AI? Like, fuck it out, okay.
To offer in-game offers and differentiated game experiences, but tie that in with Amazon's AWS. So instead of Google's Cloud AI, that coming up in search results and using Google AdWords, it comes up in your Amazon.
So like if you took like the game and Google and Amazon would be like, and here it is half price.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
And this would then be back to Twitch as well. Lead back to Twitch as well because Amazon owns Twitch. That's the thing. But then you would also get Twitch Prime stuff. So, it's something that they could do to still kind of keep Twitch on sides.
Just to clarify, right? Twitch Prime. That's just literally watching.
No.
Let's Players.
No.
What is Twitch Prime?
Twitch Prime is offers you get free stuff from Twitch.
Alright, so it's kind of like Amazon Prime?
It is Amazon Prime.
But it's for games?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And it's all free. It's called Prime because it uses your Amazon Prime. Because Twitch is owned by Amazon.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you have an Amazon Prime account and you link your Twitch to that Amazon Prime account, you then get free stuff for games.
Okay.
Through Twitch Prime. You can get the most notable ones are usually Warframe, League of Legends, Apex Legends, GTA has some stuff there, Rocket League, various games come up at different points, but it's usually the most common ones are League of Legends, Apex Legends, and Warframe.
Not bad.
And Warframe, by the way, fantastic game. If you have that, keep checking Twitch Prime for stuff for that, because usually it's platinum, which is a premium currency, is included in those wee packs that you can get from.
No reason why I hate those kind of games.
It's a completely free to play game.
Yeah, but it's free to play unless you want to be really good at it, in which case.
No, it's free to play. Unless you want to get really good at it really, really quickly. But there's not a lot of PvP, it's mostly PvE. You can play PvP if you want.
Pass.
However, a lot of it is mostly PvE. So it means you can get all the good stuff early and drag your friends through parts of the story. If your friends are struggling to stay in the game and all that. But this is a multi-year deal, which means from this season, Overwatch League YouTube outside of China, because China doesn't have YouTube, starting February the 8th, which is
3 days. So
Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I might actually watch the Overwatch League this year. I kind of started watching it. Call of Duty League also kicks off on Friday. It'll be the first season of it, and Hearthstone esports tournaments, which just kind of pop up throughout the year. It's not a league or anything. They will pop up throughout the year on YouTube instead of Twitch now. I think this could be a really good deal for Activision Blizzard. It could definitely work out well for them because YouTube's owned by Google. They have a lot more reach throughout the internet than Amazon does, while most sites do use Amazon Web Services rather than Google's AI cloud tools. Because the AWS stuff is much better. Amazon Web Services, like even Formula One use them, like see all their statistics tracking and stuff.
Yeah.
And all the things that come up during the race, things like based on the current gap between the cars and how quickly one car is versus another per sector. When are they going to catch up and how difficult is the overtake going to be? That's powered by AWS Tire Wear Predictor, which is useless. That's the annoying one they brought in at near the end of the year. Near the end of the season. Last season, that was one of them. And, kind of various other things, all powered by AWS, and most of them are really, really good. It's just that Tire Wear Predictor one, no, there was no point in that one. So I think this could be good. The only issue is they have to have another deal in place for China because China doesn't have YouTube. And China is possibly the quickest growing esports market.
Oh yeah, do they have like classes and shit?
Yeah. Well, esports is that big a thing that even in the States, there are parents taking their kids out of schools to become professional esports players.
That's beyond unfair.
Well, they're not going, right, I know you want to be, a chemist, but you're no longer doing chemistry, you're going to play Overwatch. They're not doing that. It's if the kid wants to become one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's beyond unfair. Like, if we were, in this day, if we get all games we want to do that for, wouldn't count as esports, which is horrible.
GT Sport is an esport. I'd play it. I'd do sim racing. I'm in a league. I'm not very good, but
when you were younger.
No. When I was younger, there was Gran Turismo multiplayer.
Okay, so you'd be quite happy living your life based on a racing game.
No.
Well then, be an RPGer. Don't even.
But if it would have made me the money to retire early.
Oh, you think you're really good?
I could have been. I could have been if I started early. I could have been if I became a full-on sim racer before I was 28.
Fuck man. We old.
If I'd started at like the tender age of 14. No, if I'd started when I was like a teenager, I would have probably managed it. I think. I like to think. Can't say for sure though. So let's. Why don't we dive back into our list? I'll continue on.
Okay.
I'll start and you do the second one this time. For the best home console, I've gone with PlayStation, the PS4. For no other reason than just the exclusives that are on it. I don't have an Xbox, but I've played plenty of stuff on the Xbox, and a lot of the stuff on the Xbox is also available on PC, and but there's a lot of games on, like, because I think Halo, Gears, and Forza are like your main exclusives for Xbox.
Yeah, something like that.
But look at PlayStation.
Oh, I'm well aware there are a few games I really miss playing.
Nier Automata was PC and PlayStation.
Not one.
Spider-Man.
Yes, God, yes.
God of War.
Yes. If you name the third one, I'll be surprised. Because there's only three I probably missed.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Fuck you.
The Crash Insane Trilogy
Never
was
Crash.
originally, for the first 6 months, a PlayStation exclusive.
Spyro
Medieval.
Is it just Medieval? I know it's an I, but yeah, I've never pronounced it Medieval.
That's what I've always pronounced it.
Medieval.
Anyway, Medieval, whichever way you want to say it. That, PlayStation exclusive. Gran Turismo, one of the best sim racing games out there. PlayStation exclusive. There was a lot of them. The Final Fantasy 15
Oh yeah.
was, I think, for the first. I mean, it was a shorter time. I think it was just due to optimization across platforms. I believe that was originally a PlayStation exclusive. Maybe not, but I do know that it only came out last year on Windows. So yeah, there is a lot of the exclusives are better. I do prefer the feel of the DS4 over the Xbox One S controller. VR is another one.
VR
is amazing.
It's okay.
Oh, I'm in love with my VR. It's so much fun.
I don't know. I've played a few games in VR, and the experience is good, but I wouldn't say it was worth the cost.
I would say it's worth the cost.
Ugh.
Oh, I'm very highly debating getting a HTC Vive, so I've got a second VR specifically for PC instead of PlayStation this time, just to play Beat Saber.
Wow.
I'll get other VR games
Eventually, when you can afford
around
it.
that. Skyrim VR, Fallout VR, Doom VR,
That just sounds like your
Boneworks.
Boneworks.
Yeah, I'll need to show you when we're done.
Okay.
Yeah, and Holiday Simulator. Or
Eh.
Vacation Simulator, I think is actually called. Have you ever heard of Job Simulator?
Yeah.
That, but on vacation.
Different.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds random as fuck.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of really, really good games out there for VR, and that's another reason why Xbox gets beat by PlayStation in my eyes, is because PlayStation can do them and Xbox can't. Hell, Nintendo can do VR.
VR is overrated.
I think VR is the way of the future, mate.
Oh yeah, but at the moment it's overrated.
Probably is, but not enough people have it for that to be true.
Because it's dear as fuck. Most people can
Actually, it's coming down in price quite a decent bit.
people can usually only afford the console or the headed thing. Or like a year between.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you have to buy the games that are compatible with VR all over again.
I got PlayStation 4 years ago, PS4 4 years ago, and I got the VR 2 years ago. Took me 2 years to get the money together.
Exactly. The most annoying thing is, the games you have aren't automatically compatible with VR. So you have to buy the game twice. That's
True.
it's not cost effective, man.
Well, I say true. Not entirely true. Depends on what games you get. GT Sport has its VR capability built in.
Okay, fair enough, fine.
Most
games don't.
Some games do, some games don't. Some games you have to buy another version of, but the reason for that is because a lot of the games that do that aren't. Well, they weren't released when VR was. They were released when VR was in the pipeline and not an actual thing. Skyrim, that was released in 1923 on a toaster. and here we are in 2020, and it's still being regularly played by many people.
It's still playing in VR, by the way.
And I've not played on VR yet.
Oh god,
I want to.
crazy.
Go full Sith Lord and Tamriel, But yeah, it's one of those things.
Mm.
It was released before VR was, accessible.
Mm-hmm.
So they have had to re-release a VR version. And they know that no one's going to buy Skyrim, another version of Skyrim that has VR included just because they've got VR, but they'll buy Skyrim VR, which is a version of Skyrim which is only VR if they've got VR,
Yeah.
That's why you're going to have to buy a lot of the games, VR or not VR, and very few games have it, built in, as having the option, because a lot of the games are actually re-releases from games that were released before VR.
Fair enough. So mine's just completely opposite yours. Xbox One. Aside from those free games, which are PS4 exclusives, which admittedly I do miss, because I thought God of War was epic as all hell, so I do miss playing that. I thought.
Wait, did you get rid of your PlayStation?
No, it's like I've got Xbox One upstairs, so I sit and play it most of the time. But my PlayStation's downstairs. Yeah, it's the family room. So trying to get time and that's just not enough.
Steal it and put it back in your room.
No, I'm literally waiting until I'm out and I'm taking it. Then I'll have both and I'm like, blah, catch up time. Until then, do miss God of War. I thought it was amazing, so I never completed it. Never completed, what was it? Horizon Zero Dawn, but I thought that was such an ingenious game. I've never played anything like it. It's the only time I thought like, man, I really want to hunt something. I didn't feel as bad about it because it's robots. So unless you're a robot out there, in which case, well, fuck you. Then Spider-Man, never completed it. Got damn close. I think it was you guys had a loan off of Spider-Man.
And my brother gave you a loan of it.
Yeah. Once I gave that back, I was like, damn, need to get this game. Never got it because obviously, but I loved it. Honestly, it's the truest Marvel experience I've had in gaming, and it was amazing. But back to the point. Xbox One, for the simple fact that it feels so much more intuitive, and the games you get with Xbox Games Pass, you get so much more than you do with PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation, I remember thinking every month, oh man, what free games am I gonna get for free? And you're like, oh, got like one decent one, maybe. After like, I'm never ever gonna buy.
Yeah.
Then you get those gems now and again. You're like, oh my god.
We got our new ones this month.
What was it?
Sims 4.
Okay, that's decent. Massive time sink, but decent.
Oh, you gotta love the Sims. It's one of those games. Hold on, PS.
2 seconds, he's just trying to prove me wrong here.
Plus. No, I'm not trying to prove you wrong. I'm just trying to remember myself what the PS Plus games were.
Alright. But in terms of Game Pass, for Xbox, you get a ridiculous number of games. It's updated every month. It's honestly some really cool things. For instance, I love that's pretty good actually.
BioShock Collection, Sims
Nice.
4, and Firewall Zero Hour, which is VR. Because what they do now is 2 games, and so they do 2 games a month, and every 4 or 5 months or so, they throw in a VR game.
Okay, good damn. BioShock Collection does look rad as fuck. I actually might consider getting that myself. Wow.
But yeah, BioShock Collection, BioShock 2, BioShock Infinite,
Plus DLC.
DLCs.
Nice.
Sims 4.
Without the DLC, because obviously.
Yep. Yep. It supports a VR aim controller, but it can also be played with DualShock controllers. I'm wondering if it uses the Move controllers, because that's the one that I use. I don't have the aim controller yet.
Anyway. So for me, Xbox One, just the Game Pass, it's just got such a wide variety of games. Anything from small indie games, which some actually I never really spent on them, but no, some of them are just amazing.
One thing about the Game Pass, which intrigues me though, or makes me kind of think about getting it. Like, I don't have an Xbox, but it does cross over onto PC as well.
Yeah, well, if it does kind of go for it. I think it's just one of those things where it's just. I think because Sony for so long is very much by itself, for us, like, obviously, it's branching it more. But initially, just like it's a Sony game, it's PlayStation end of. Whereas obviously Microsoft being more like trying to integrate into everything else.
Yeah.
So it brings more variation. I'm not getting me wrong, like I said, there's some games for not only like Sony exclusives, which kill me because I do miss them, but other games you can get in Game Pass, like for instance Witcher 3 is on Game Pass. There's one game I was considering playing, but it's one of those games where you're going to lose yourself for like 100 hours. Oh, god damn. Anyways, one of those kind of like D&D stylish games. But yeah, like, you just get some wide variety in Game Pass. It's just, I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I keep meaning to get it for PC.
Mm.
And yeah, it's pretty much for the same reason. There's just so many different games. And then I decided to get Origin Access instead, and I haven't looked back.
Yeah.
And I say that, I actually feel bad saying that because it means, I'm giving money to EA every month.
Yeah, you have fun with that.
Yeah. Well, if I don't give money to EA, they shut down BioWare, so...
Yeah, I'd rather BioWare, they can go rogue again. Oh,
yeah.
They're better before.
The next one we've got here is what we think is the best handheld of the decade. And I've got a feeling that me and Mark have probably picked the same thing. Because I've gone with the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easily, handhelds are kind of went out of fashion, to be fair.
Yeah. I mean, my sole reasoning for saying it is straight up is the best handheld this decade. No arguments.
I wouldn't even say just decade. I think it is the best handheld. I don't think there's anything.
Nothing came before it that can match it. Like, because you had the PSP and the PS Vita.
Yeah, we're okay, but no, it was nothing close to what that can do.
They played bigger games than the equivalent handhelds at the time. Because the equivalent handhelds at the time were like the Game Boy Advance or the original DS.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could probably maybe get a 30-hour RPG onto there, and that's most of that time is spent, constantly saving the game in case the battery dies every time you catch a Pokemon.
Oh god, back in the day, man, back in the day.
But look at what the Switch can do in handheld mode.
Mm-hmm.
You can have 8-player multiplayer.
That's insane.
Locally, using wireless communication. If you are, say, in the library, you can connect to the local Wi-Fi and play against people all over the world there.
Yeah.
That's, I say that and you go, yeah, but the DS can do that.
Yeah, no, it's not the same.
Can your DS play Breath of the fucking Wild?
It's insane. That's a capability.
It definitely stepped up what handhelds can be.
Exactly, it's a branching between handheld and like actual home consoles.
Yeah. Because, before Mark got here, I was playing Pokemon Sword on my DS, on my telly, getting all the evolutions.
I'm looking forward to getting that, not gonna lie. Tomorrow,
I'm working. I think I've got a half-hour lunch break while I'm at work. I'll probably take it with me and play Octopath Traveler on my lunch break.
Not bad.
I unlike with the PlayStation or the Xbox, I'm not as limited to where I can play it. Sure, PlayStation has remote play, where you can play it on your phone, but that's the same as Steam Link on your phone. Yes, it works.
It's not a good one.
But it depends on what you're playing. Like, you cannot play Tetris or racing games or online multiplayer shooters. You can play things like World of Final Fantasy. Yeah, a turn-based RPG, as long as it's got a wait mode. If you've got the thing set to active, the lag's going to kill you. And when you get to the time sequences, it's not going to be fun. But you can do that. You can play wee puzzle games. Can't play anything major because it's just going to lag too much. You can't play online, it's going to lag too much. And the same goes for Xbox with laptop.
Yeah.
you can get it onto the laptop through Game Pass, and that's going to be same. Then you have to carry your laptop to work. The Switch is a hell of a lot smaller and lighter.
Just a touch. Okay, so I think we're in agreement. Best handheld is definitively the Switch.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one we've got onto is the best developer. Again,
I think both of our choices are obvious on this one.
oh, both? Oh, well, yeah, individually, aye. So for me, obviously I'm going to go Bioware. Sans EA. Yeah, the big games that came out were with EA, but I feel like over the years they've gotten more into the thumb of EA, hence things like Anthem and Andromeda came out, and it just went downhill.
Yeah.
Whereas when Bioware worked more independently, obviously with EA's money, you got beautiful games.
Yeah. Mine is obviously Electronic Arts.
Shocker.
They just keep buying up all the studios, and they're the only studio that's left. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, like I said earlier, not a fanboy, just passionate. Square Enix.
Sorry, how many Final Fantasies have you played?
How many are there?
Exactly. Fanboy.
No, it's not just that. Kingdom Hearts played 1, 2, 1.5, 2.5, Chain of Memories, all of those. Nier Automata, played some of the Dragon Quest games. Life is Strange. Please stop me. I'm going to up your massive list of.
Okay.
Let's
continue.
But yeah, no. There's just a thing about Square Enix that I absolutely love, and that is their commitment to putting out the best game that they can. Like, because we've seen it twice this year already, is the cancellation of not just Final Fantasy, I said cancellation, the delay, the postponement of release of not just Final Fantasy VII Art, but Marvel Avengers.
Boo. As long as it comes out epic, I don't mind.
Specifically, so that the game that they release is the game that the fans have been waiting for and hoping for. So yeah, waiting for them to bring these games out and all that. Yeah, I think it is definitely
Pro move.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong, for us, the fans, it's going to be a hell of a wait, and it's going to be hellish.
Aye, but you'd rather have a game come out initially and be perfect than have it, come out in the next month and be like, yeah, it's okay, but we're going to have to patch it up last. Yeah.
Well, there was something that, I believe it was Sakaguchi said, from Nintendo, that a game that I can't even remember what it was. I'm going to paraphrase it though.
Okay, that works.
You can fix a good game, but a bad game will always be bad.
Word. Yeah, I get you that.
It's they want to put out what the fans want on day one of the game. They don't want to have to sit and patch it. And 9 times out of 10 they do have to patch it.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 it's optimization and localization errors rather than the game is pish. Or the game is incomplete. It's just issues with localization as in the language of this that comes up. Or optimization, which means how well it runs on said system. So yeah, that's what not just Square Enix, but another developer, Nintendo, are known for. And that's why I love games by Nintendo and or Square Enix, is because they do the best work they can to bring the best games to the fans.
Okay. I'm just going to slightly change up here, purely just because you talked about, obviously sometimes developers do need to come in, step in after the fact and try and fix it. So purely just on that basis, I think we should break what we said and just going for the biggest flops before the next bit of news.
Do you know what? I'm completely fine with that.
Mm-hmm. Seems like a meld in. However, I unfortunately couldn't narrow it down to just one. Or two. I've got three. Three biggest flops. Based on how badly they fucked up, how much it sucked that they fucked up, and the fact one fucked up as well. This week, one fucked up despite the fact taking resources away from the second one. But on that basis, you can probably guess the last two.
Yeah, don't do the last one, right? I've only got one.
Okay, wait. Okay, right, I'll leave you with that one. Right, okay, so I'll take two. Right, so first one, No Man's Sky. Yes, they fixed it later on.
Yes, now that they've fixed it, it's an absolutely fantastic game.
However,
on launch, I completely agree.
That's the point of the biggest flop, as in initially.
Yeah.
It was touted as being this vast thing.
Now that they've fixed it and given the features that were promised, and even went on to release it on Xbox, the player base has gone up and all of that. And I still say it was a flop to begin with, but we do have to justify that it was on launch, it was a flop, and for a long time until they fixed it. Once they fixed it, that completely changed.
Okay, right. So
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah,
just saying we have to justify that one.
The biggest initial flop.
Yes.
Because no other game was touted as much as being something so game changing.
Yeah.
Only to be like, this is it, really.
Yeah. Right. And then by the time they fixed it,
interest
wasn't exactly. Not even that. Everything that was game changing wasn't exactly game changing.
No.
Because other things have gone on to do it.
And for me, the second one, just because it pissed me off so much, was Andromeda.
Yeah.
There's no way in hell that wasn't gonna upset so many fans. After this great mammoth success of the original trilogy, for this one to come along and basically shit the bed and say, "Oops."
Yeah. No, I get that.
Again, obviously we both know the story behind it. They got funds, money, people. Funds and money was the same thing. Anyway, they got funds and people taken away from them, so they had to cut back. But these cutbacks affect everything. It's not got content. No, it's even down to just how well it played and how well it looked. It was all tarnished.
Facial animations is all I'm going to say. Thankfully, they at least patched that bit out.
Aye, but the rest of it, though,
no.
You can't say, we were expecting it to be this big, vast experience and be like, yeah, sorry, we had to cut 2/3 of the story.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was like, what?
And then, despite that, they went on to make the game that I want to talk about.
Yeah.
And that was a flop as well. Fucking Anthem. I mean, it's not just that, right? It wasn't just the fact it was a bad game, right? Because, yeah, it was. However, it wasn't... How do you explain it? It's...
I think much like No Man's Sky, they promised too much initially.
Yeah, I would definitely agree on that one. But they also went and... the way they built the game, it just constantly crashed. And that wasn't good.
No. I'm sure that's what... I think it was recently... I watched a video of the biggest gaming glitches. I'm sure it was Anthem. Two people were sitting trying to play in the PC, and as soon as you turn it on, it crashes the console. It just would not turn on.
It bricked consoles.
Yes, that was it, yeah.
It fried computers. Because it just wanted too many resources, and and see, half the time didn't even need those resources. But no, it wasn't a very well built game.
No.
And here's the thing. They were talking up things about it, about how it was going to be this wee hub world where you could go and that would be solo. You'd be the only player in there, and yeah, that's fine. And then you go into the open world and you'd be able to meet other players and all that. I'm like, oh yeah, that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but you can only get 4 players per open world. I was expecting something in the levels of a fucking MMORPG.
Oh, like you make a team for the layer and that'd be your
Yeah.
team. Instead, it's only literally. Wait,
It's 4 people.
right? Seriously, it's only literally.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
then I didn't even realize it was that bad. So, what have you done like those people? Was it you're stuck, or was it just log out and log back in?
Log out and back in.
Oh my god. So if you get stuck with 2 people who don't want to help out, they just want to go and do their own thing, which is fine. But if that means you want to take on a big boss, you got you and someone else.
Yeah. But to be fair, that's fine. I'm fine with it being small numbers in the world, but it was a kind of a big world out there.
Yeah.
There was a lot of space to move about, because I remember me, Josh, and Tom were doing a live stream, let's play of it. We got I think we got 10, 12 episodes done.
Alright.
We live streamed the episodes and all that, and it was great fun. And we just kind of eventually got bored of the game. It was just, there was nothing there. It just felt, we'd gone as far as we could with it and just gave up.
Mm.
And it wasn't because we'd finished the game and it was dead short. No, we had plenty more time in the game to go, especially because we were doing missions with each other,
Mm-hmm.
and leveling up our what are they called?
Oh, the suits.
Yeah,
Right.
javelins.
Yeah.
Leveling up the javelins and doing all that stuff. But it just felt kind of samey, repetitive, and it's not very well panned out. And the pacing felt all over the place at times as well.
So, if you consider that, the fact... Okay, so if you consider this as a game as a whole, it was sucked. But then take into account as well, you got diehard fans like me of Mass Effect, whose, hopes of Andromeda were dashed for Anthem, and even then, it didn't turn out a good game.
No. But
what?
The biggest problem I have with this is they took all these resources away from Andromeda and put them into Anthem. Both games flopped, and the only game that they're concentrating on fixing is Anthem.
Yeah.
Because I would like to see them try and fix Andromeda as well.
It was a game we originally deserved.
Yeah. Instead of just fixing one, fixed both. You don't do it at the same time, otherwise you'll end up with what happened in the first place. But just to go, by the way, we're going to fix these 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And since Andromeda came out first, why don't they fix that one first?
Or alternatively, just ensure the next Dragon Age game's a fucking beautiful thing.
Yeah.
If that flops, I'm gonna... Oh my god.
I thought that was meant to come out last year as well.
Oh, I don't think so. I don't think it's even got a date yet. There's not even anything out of it yet.
Well, when they announced it at Gamescom 2018, it seemed to tease it for 2019.
Doubt it. Yeah, so it's...
Because you had it in your list we done last February.
I hate when you research it and I can't remember it.
Oh, I just remember you had it on the list.
Alright.
Because it was me that told you about it, and you went, I want that on my list.
Oh man, I'm really looking forward to the next one. Off topic, but that's what we do here. But yeah, flops, man. The only other IP you've got for Bioware, which so far is untarnished, is Knights of the Old Republic. We've recently completed the first one. Oh my god.
Yeah, but they're not bringing out another one of them.
I know. It's a remaster. Oh my days, that would be immense.
Yeah, because all the Star Wars stuff is going to Respawn and DICE.
Mm.
Now, however, I've not played Jedi Fallen Order yet, so
Same.
no comments on it. Right, I'm not gonna say whether it's good or bad because I've not played it.
I've done the dumbass move. I wanted to get it, and then one day, you ever felt self-destructive? So you watch a Let's Play of it or whatever, and then I got landing.
Oh,
I know. I was like, it's cool, but fuck, what have I done? No.
I would totally be like, I have no regrets, and then go and buy it.
Oh no, I still want to get it. Definitely, it's not putting me off in the slightest. I'm just like, yes.
But Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront, the OG Battlefront's fantastic. Current ones, not so much. So it's a mixed bag with EA and Star Wars right now. So who knows? We could see them maybe bring it back.
Maybe.
hopefully. I hope so.
We'll see.
But there's no guarantees of it, of BioWare doing anything with it, because at the moment the kind of RPG-ish games are going to seem to be in the direction of Respawn. So, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Time will tell. Right.
Shall we jump back to the news?
Yep. Let's do it.
Shall we? Well, since we done an extra one, we'll just go for a quick one here. We'll do the two quickest ones that we've got.
Coco.
Do the next one and then finish it off. League of Legends and CSGO events have been cancelled or postponed, depending on if it's something that can be postponed, like a tournament, or if it's something like a World Championship that needs to be held at a specific time for, seasons and stuff, cancelled to be held somewhere else. Amid the coronavirus outbreak. I was chatting away yesterday saying, this coronavirus thing, right? You're looking at me like I'm going to say something completely controversial.
Just that way you kind of set up. I'm like, oh, here we go. What?
It's not as bad as everyone seemed to make it out.
500 dead?
500 who didn't know how to deal with it. Because this is the thing, right? The coronavirus is a group of viruses which are very, very common around the world, aka the common cold and influenza. Right? There's no cure for it. For the Wuhan novella coronavirus, they've said for people with regular immune systems, they will be able to fight it off within 10 days, just like with the cold and the flu. Right? People with weakened immune systems will need more help, and giving people antibiotics for it is going to do nothing because it's a virus, not a bacteria. Right? So they're going to have to make up antivirals for it, right? AKA flu jabs. It's going to have to be slightly different because it's a different strain.
Yeah.
But it's essentially the same as making a flu jab. But the home remedies will work. Isolate yourself, keep yourself hydrated, and take painkillers for the pain. For like headaches and like your body aches when you get the cold or flu. It's the same. But what I've noticed in British media and American media, media all over the world, when they're talking about coronavirus, is they're not going, if you suspect you have coronavirus, here's what to do, which is isolate yourself, drink plenty of fluids, and, take some painkillers. 2 paracetamol every 4 hours, and, it's not going to cure you in the space of 24 hours, but it is going to, make sure you can function for the 10 days. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that those who have died are all idiots and they deserved it or anything, because that's completely not true. Every time I hear that the death toll goes up, my heart goes out to the families of those who have died to this this pandemic. But what I'm saying is, the people who should be giving the information saying, guys, here's what to do, they're just causing more panic about it and not actually doing anything constructive. Right? Which means if they actually, informed, the news is a public information service.
Yeah.
If they actually gave public information about how to deal with it, events like League of Legends and CSGO, the Formula 1 Chinese Grand Prix in April, that's on shaky ground whether or not it's going to be run in Shanghai this year, as well as the Vietnam Grand Prix, the Japanese Grand Prix, the Australian Grand Prix, like the Asian area Grand Prix are all on shaky ground just now, whether they will or won't run. But what we need to do is, have the media give out information how to deal with it, and we'll be fine. I won't say like everyone will survive, because we know how to deal with the cold and the flu, but we still get people dying from it every year. you know.
Mm-hmm.
But with this being a new outbreak, everyone's panicking, and the media aren't helping. They're causing more panic, shock, horror. I mean, that's all the media seem to do these days.
Well, I do get what you're saying. Only downside is the media can only report on what they know, and for a lot of people, it seemed the coronavirus came out of nowhere, aside from that one guy who predicted it years ago. So we can't really advise if we don't know.
But we do know that this is, from, legitimate doctors all over the world, online and medical blogs and medical forums saying, make sure, if you believe you have the coronavirus or something similar, be it cold, flu, whatever, do this and you'll be alright. 90% of the time you'll be alright. Keep an eye out for complications, because one of it does say, like, when they're talking about the effects of coronavirus, you're going to feel fatigued, you're going to have a dry cough, you're going to be sneezing, pain. That's your common ones. Your uncommon ones, things like diarrhea, vomiting, like being really, really short of breath, like respiratory distress. And your rare ones, kidney failure and death. So, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's not, I'm not saying, the coronavirus isn't killing anyone, because it clearly is. And, with the amount of numbers that people are getting infected, the amount of and how rare death is supposed to be, yeah, it's slightly inflated how many people are dying, but with the panic that's ensuing over it, and depending on where it hits, if people are already immunocompromised, be it because they're really, really young or really, really old, we just know the numbers of how many people die. We're not told if it's healthy middle-aged people, healthy old people, unhealthy old people, unhealthy middle-aged people, wains. We're not told anything about these people. We're just given numbers. So, yeah, if there's an outbreak in, say, an old folks' home where everyone's like, because the immune system of the average elderly person isn't going to be as good as, say, two guys in their 30s.
No, true. We have stated that most of the death toll is older people or children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who have weaker immune systems than the average person in their, probably, I'd say, early teenage years to probably pushing the boundaries of the end of their 50s.
Yeah, but also unintended death toll as well. For instance, I read a news story about a gentleman who's also carer of his son, who was basically, authorities believe he had the virus, so he had to get taken away for observation for a week.
Yeah.
His son was unable to feed himself, passed away.
Yeah. I mean, that's not really down to the that's an oversight by the people taking him into observation.
Oh, definitely. Well, the thing is, he did reach out to people to try and help, but obviously didn't help.
But yeah, I don't disagree with these events being postponed. I don't disagree with any events that are being postponed in relation to this current outbreak. However, I do disagree that the amount of panic that is being spread regarding it, because we should be the media should be educating people how to deal with it and what to do.
I think it's more or less because it became like deadly so quickly.
Yeah, because it started at Chinese New Year, where a lot of people, be they Chinese origin or not, go to China, enjoy Chinese New Year, and then come back. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was around, before that, it was actually around probably early December last year, there was cases of it. But, they came and went like the common cold, It was only when there was a mass outbreak of it that we started having issues.
Oh, that's how it always works.
Yeah. But no, all I'm saying is, I think, the reason that we're having to cancel events and stuff is because it's not getting better, and it's not getting better because the media is not exactly making things better. They're scaremongering instead of actually being a public information service.
That's the thing, the media is subjective, so even if they did want to be like a public information service you hope them to be, unless they get people saying definitively not to worry, but even when you talked about it, you said like 9% of the time, like just do little home remedies. But whereas on the news, we did say if you have any of those symptoms, then you've been to the district or have come in contact with anyone from the district, to get in contact with a doctor immediately.
Yeah.
So like, you need to it's easier to narrow it down. Should I get in contact with a doctor, get it verified? That way they can quarantine them. Whereas if you just quarantine yourself, but then obviously other people unknowingly come in contact, and then it causes a mini outbreak in the area, then they go away, blah blah blah, and then we're all dead. And in fact, the common cold does mutate as well. So if coronavirus is anything like it, which you say it is,
what we're dealing with just now is called the Wuhan novel coronavirus.
yeah.
Wuhan, where it originated.
Mm-hmm.
Novella means new, coronavirus. But the coronavirus is actually a group of diseases.
Yeah.
Common cold, influenza, measles, SARS, MERS, which is Middle Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, smallpox.
Fuck, no wonder it's taking so many people out.
Oh no, these are all different strains of coronavirus. There's none that, I don't think there's really any that combine the two.
You sure?
I hope so. Hope not.
Fucking
But
hell.
Ebola's also in there as well.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
It's like the tag along no one wants.
But but see, to be fair, you've got more chance of getting smallpox at the moment than coronavirus. More chance of getting the measles than coronavirus. So it's basically a group of viruses that are treatable in a very similar way. Generally have very similar, 90% of the time, generally have very similar symptoms.
Yeah.
And they're all viruses. Also, HIV and AIDS is also part of that group.
Oh my god, right.
And transmission rates vary between all the different viruses, and transmission methods are different between all the viruses. So they're not quite 100% sure how. Well, last I checked, right, they weren't 100% sure how they transmit between each other. They were narrowing down on the theories. They were ruling things out.
I'm sure.
And they looked like they were on the right track to figuring it out. But then the next
said it was like fucking contact and fluids.
Well, this is a couple of days ago that I remember. It seemed like they were on the right track. They had like maybe a day or two of research before they could say definitively, and it was looking like it was fluids, bodily contact. So we'll see. But the point I was making is, I think as long as people know how to protect themselves, they should be all right. Face masks are also should be a thing that people in affected areas should be wearing.
And do you reckon condoms are going to help at all?
It won't be helping me.
Oh, okay. Not taking a sidestep, but okay.
I would probably imagine yes, practicing safe sex would help.
Yeah. Always a good shout. Keep it rubbered up.
But shall we move on to the next one before we get into a big argument about coronavirus?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Nintendo says it's not planning to launch a new Switch model in 2020, with the news that the Xbox X and the PlayStation 5 are on their way.
We pass for a while.
This year, Nintendo have come out and said, no, we don't feel the need to. Just this year, they've launched not only an improved Nintendo Switch with improved chipset and better Joy-Cons because of Joy-Con drift. They've also launched the Switch Lite, so they don't feel the need to launch a new Switch model. If they do go ahead and launch one this year, it's not going to be like a Switch 2 or a Switch 360 or whatever you want to call it. It's just going to be another software revision or hardware revision even, and improving some of the hardware. And that's technically not a new Switch model in the way that, you know, the new Xbox and the PS5 is a new model.
Aye.
You know, it's a hardware revision rather than a full-on model.
Right.
So, yeah, anyone who was thinking of getting who thinks they're going to get every console that's out, that's one less you need to worry about.
Rich people problems.
I know. I wish I had those problems.
Right. So next bit.
Biggest controversy. I don't know about you, but you know, this last decade has had quite a few big controversies in the world of gaming.
Mm-hmm.
We've had Gamergate.
Which one's that again?
That was the one with
The gates, aye.
what's her face? Anita Sarkeesian, is it?
Bless you.
No, it's that. How about I go with one that's easier to explain, right? We've had the Riot Games sexual discrimination.
You're right, yeah,
one.
I'm not vaguely remember that, yeah.
We've had, E3 being kind of crap.
Not really controversy, but I'd say
the doxing of guests at E3.
That's a controversy.
We've had various things. I'm trying to avoid the one that I know you're going to talk about.
We only have one.
And then we've also had the one that I picked, which was the Sony data breach.
Oh, yeah.
Which was highly damaging for the brand.
Just a touch.
Yeah, that's one I've gone with. I mean, I've been kind of playing mostly on Sony machines since the PlayStation. Originally released in 1995 and here in the UK. And yeah, when there was the data breach shortly after PS4 was launched, it was quite worrying. Had to get all my cards renewed, cancel all my cards, renew them all, change email addresses and passwords.
Seriously?
Gotta be safe, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's why I use a VPN now. They'll never
bother.
find me.
Yeah, personally, I couldn't give a fuck. The idea of someone actually taking my details, like, fucking go on that, and I've got, like, fucking 50 quid to me right now. Payday's tomorrow. So, yeah, fuck it.
My payday's tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Thursday. Right, fair enough. Mine is similar to the lack of money, actually. The loot box controversy.
Yes.
So mine is more, it's less obviously the idea of it being gambling, etc. And in fact, you've got like hardly any chances of getting the truly good stuff. Even though I say, you could win this, but realistically, you're not.
Yeah.
Now for me, it's like the ease of access to it. The idea, like, personally, I don't want kids, but this really puts me off wanting kids. The idea of getting your wee bit bare and set up in the system. Like, you go on, mate. You have fun. You go away for half an hour. You come back, and then you get buzzed on your phone. You look, it's your bank statement saying you've just lost 300. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And it's pure just because there's no proper access, because you log them on, don't need to log onto the store automatically, because if you're logged on already, you can go straight on.
Yeah.
And then boom, they can just do what they want, and they don't know about it, because they're like, oh, I want this, $5 away. Oh, and that, another $5 away. That game looks good, 40 away. It's shocking, but that's obviously that's a bit away from loot boxes. But the idea of loot boxes is the crux of it.
Yeah.
I think the one I kept hearing about was the FIFA one. People want to get like the best team, the best players, so then they spend just hundreds of quid.
Yeah.
Just trying to get an amazing team. And you're like, what?
Or the way it was originally in Battlefront.
Exactly. That's
Battlefront 2, like, to get Darth Vader would be the equivalent. I think it was spending like 500 quid or grinding out the game for something like 400 hours.
It's a joke. That's not realistic in either way. Like,
and then there was the one in PUBG. They released the biker loot box and another loot box that goes with it. And there was a super, super rare item in it. And they worked out that if you bought if it worked out, like, you got all the items, judging by how many you bought, it would, and taking into account the time it took to open the loot boxes and buy loot boxes, if you just had unlimited cash, you didn't have to work, and you didn't have to, like, leave the PC, just literally just sitting there, buy loot box, open. It would have taken you 8.500 years or something to eventually get that item.
It's the whole point of playing a game is a game. It's a distraction from the real life stresses, and you can just phase everything out. The last thing you need to do is bring in real world gambling, which is what that is.
Yeah.
Like, fair enough, if you go into a casino, that's different. You know what you're going there for. You don't go there thinking you're going to get a comedy show. You might. But realistically, you're going to go into a gambling place to gamble.
Yeah.
You know you're going to throw money away. You might win, you might lose, but that's you knowing it. Buying a loot box should give you a realistic chance of it. So if you say it's like 1 in 10, fair enough, I buy 10 boxes, I should get that thing. Logically. Doesn't work like that, because that's not how odds work. However, that's how it should be.
Yeah, no, but that would then have to track your loot boxes and all that, and
So
that's just something that they don't feel like doing.
Exactly, but that'd be the logical thing. But even then, that means if you ever get something that says like you got 400 chances, like 400 out over 1 chance of getting this thing, then that's a lot of loot boxes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. So the what's next? Best remake of the last decade.
You want to go or do you want?
Yeah. I mean, there's been a lot of remakes. I've probably mentioned what you're going to pick. I've definitely mentioned what I'm going to pick.
Okay, you go first.
Earlier, when I was talking about remakes earlier, and I picked Crash.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to pick Medieval, wanted to pick Spyro, just couldn't quite, because there was a thing in old platforming games, and you'll notice it's when you walk off the ledge, you pause for a second before you drop in old platforming games, and that gives you the chance to get that jump in, especially if you're a younger player, because most of these platformers are kind of intended for kids.
The safety net's always needed.
Well, they got rid of it in the Crash trilogy. That's why it feels so much harder than it used to.
Seriously?
Yeah.
So you just straight up go, no.
Yep. And I think the addition to that, because a lot of people that are going to be buying the Crash, who they figured would be buying the Crash Insane trilogy, are adults who remember playing Crash as kids, and that's a nice way to make it feel a bit more difficult for them now that they are older.
But if you're a new fan, you're screwed.
Yeah. No, I'm okay with that.
Being there,
because not so much that, but because that's how most games are now.
Yeah, I suppose.
So I'm okay with that.
Okay, and for me, I went with a game I've only played a bit of. However, once you get a Switch, I am definitely getting it as well as other games of its ilk. Pokemon Let's Go.
Yes. Yeah.
Like remaking the original, one of the original games, and it just feels so intuitive. Plus, the main thing I love about it is the follower Pokemon. Like obviously, when you're playing in the Game Boy and you've seen the wee sprite walking along behind you, it was epic as hell. But transforming that into actually seeing how the Pokemon moves is ridiculous, and it blows so many minds when you see how Venusaur actually moves. Like, oh no, he's a big like tree fucker. No, he's a fucking frog. What? What? But yeah, just one of the many games I'm looking forward to getting for Switch when I eventually get one.
I would recommend if you can get a deal where you can get Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee fairly cheap, do it.
Yeah.
Because you'll get a free Pikachu and a free Eevee, and Pokemon Sword or Shield, whichever one you decide to buy, if you have a save with the minute. However, due to the fact that they're meant to represent your partner Pikachu and your partner Eevee in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee.
Oh no, you can only get one.
No, you can get both of them. You can't evolve them.
Oh, what?
However, you can still catch them later on in the game anyway, in the same area, ironically.
I just pay so annoying though. Wait, is it the same levels in that now?
No.
Alright, so now the one you get in the Pokemon Sword. So is it you get
When you get them, they're level 10.
Oh, it's so annoying. So even if you're one in like Let's Go Pikachu's like level 100.
What you can what you can do though later in the game is you can catch Ditto and you can use it to breed to then evolve.
Ah, okay, that'd be pretty cool. Ditto gets a really weird deal in these games, man.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? They kind of broke Ditto for breeding in Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Oh, how?
If you use a Ditto of your own region, so America, Europe, Japan, or Asia. I don't know why Japan's separate from Asia half the time in these games, but still, usually are. They actually lay eggs a lot faster than one from... If you get one from a different region, they lay eggs faster than one from your own region. Last night I had Pokemon Sword turned on for all of about 20 minutes and I had 8 eggs.
Wow.
All hatched into Eevee, by the way, because I had an Eevee in the daycare as well. See, if that was one from my own region, it probably wouldn't have been that quick.
Jesus. Just love tracking something 'cause I can't really remember. If you put an Eevee with an evolved Pokemon, do you get one evolved one or an evolved one?
When an egg hatch, sorry, when an egg hatches, it's always the unevolved version. So a Pikachu would become a Pichu.
Right. Okay.
A Raichu would also become a Pichu. So even though you've got, say, a Sudowoodo, you can still get a Bonsly. Mr. Mime will become Mime Jr. Unless you do it in a game before those ones existed. They'll exist in the remakes, but they won't exist in like games physically made before that. They exist in the Pokédex. Right. So, yeah, it just depends on when you do it.
Okay, and it doesn't work in Legendaries, does it?
No. Legendaries, Generalist Pokemon, Ditto can't breed to become eggs. Like Dittos can breed and lay eggs of whatever Pokemon they're in there with, as long as it's not Generalist, Legendary, or another Ditto.
So essentially, Dittos are like a Asari. Okay. Now, can two Dittos breed together?
No.
Ah.
It also cannot breed with a Magnemite, Magneton, or Magnezone, or any other Generalist Pokemon.
Huh, okay. Fair enough.
Or Legendaries.
Cool. Information for you guys. Right, so you want to work less because we've got 3 left.
Oh, we'll do we've got 3 left and 2 stories, so we'll just do the 3 that's left.
Cool. Right. Funniest glitch.
Yeah. Do you remember GTA 4?
Yeah.
Do you remember the swing set of death?
Yeah.
That.
Nice. actually to I basically had to watch a video, just to get an idea of what glitches have happened this decade. And that was on it, but that was one of the better ones. I'm like, that's epic. For me, the funniest is also the most cringy. It's WWE 2K20.
Oh yeah,
Like all of it.
Yeah,
Like just
The-
like what?
like there's not even a glitch in the game. It's just the game is a glitch.
It's
Although to be fair, that was the same with 2019 before it was patched, 2018 before it was patched, 2K17 before it was patched. Like, see, since 2K bought the games,
yeah.
it's basically been that day one pre-patch.
It just it doesn't make sense.
I remember playing, I think it was 2K16
Mhm.
as Daniel Bryan in a ladder match, hitting the Undertaker with a ladder, and he flew out the arena, and then came back in and turned into a giraffe, as in like just
Yeah, like,
stretched out, not actually physically turned into a giraffe. You know, just completely glitched the hell out, and I could then go and get the belt while he was just glitching all around the arena.
It's the kind of thing, like, these games aren't cheap. So the
No.
idea of buying a game like for fucking 50 quid, sitting down playing it, and then seeing that shit, you're like, the fuck.
Thankfully, they usually patch it within a month.
Aye, but still, some of
'Cause-
those glitches are just
Yeah.
bad, man.
And you know what? See, in that month, see if you like watching things just go to hell,
yeah.
you can do that for about a month before they patch it.
I think the only other like minor glitch I've read up on, I can't remember exactly what game it was. It's one of Assassin's Creed where you get the faceless glitch.
That would be the one after Black Flag, which is Syndicate.
I think it might be that. Aye. It's just that it's simple fact that you're wearing a hood anyway, so like you're sneaking up on someone, then you turn around, it's just eyeballs and teeth, and you're like, whoa, okay.
But you can see the inside of the hair. You can see the way that the hair is mapped on the inside of the head, but you
I don't
can't
look
see
that
the.
close, but that's kind of cool.
Oh, I want to
Weird.
watch a video about glitches next when we're done this.
Fuck, man. Right. Best E3 moment.
Right. So what we've done for this one is split it up into best E3 win and best E3 fail.
Yep.
But I'm going to do mine in the order of fail and win.
I like it better.
Mostly because mine actually are from the same E3 and tied together.
I think mine are. I can't remember. It's either one before lower or the same E3.
So my best E3 fail is when Microsoft turned around and went Xbox Connect, Xbox One, always online. The whole DMR policy, right? That's my biggest fail. The
Damn.
way
That's a
Xbox
good one.
completely fucked up.
Yeah, I
Right.
remember that.
And then
yeah.
the biggest one was the next day at the PlayStation conference, going, "Here's how you share a game with PlayStation," and then just someone handing a disc over to someone in response to the whole Xbox saying you cannot play borrowed games on our consoles. So I would really change it more into the best E3 moment overall, rather than win and fail, because it's one of the biggest companies in video games saying, showing you how they've fucked up without
Yeah.
realizing they've yet to realize they've fucked up, and then their competitor taking the absolute fucking piss out of them. And it's not even that. Nintendo did the same, which is even better.
Man. Damn it. But yeah, look, is that your both two moments, eh?
Yeah, that's my fail and win.
Oh, God. Mine are more involved slightly. Because I had to watch another video, because for life of me, I'm like, okay, I had to narrow it down to ones I've seen, which is fair. So was your thing, was it last year and the year before we watched? I can't remember.
2018.
And 19?
No, we watched 2016.
What? Did we?
I think so. I know we definitely camped out here
Yeah.
for 2018 because we didn't do any podcasts at all in 2019.
No, oh, right, yeah. that's a fair
That
point.
was part of our Christmas break.
No, I got you. Yeah,
It took
okay.
a full year.
Yeah, okay, so yeah. So that's at least came from 2018. So the two worst ones for me. Well, one, it comes from my hatred of esports. So is it, I don't know if you remember it. Is
Fortnite Pro-Am?
No, it was the guy who played Madden, a young Kiv. He came in for a big kind of title belt.
Oh, yeah.
And he's saying how his life was so hard until he got this. Now he's a pure celebrity. And you're sitting there going, fuck off, you annoying prick. Like, the idea of someone just being like, yeah, man, it was so hard. Now I'm like just a total cool gamer with my belt. And you're like, dude, y'all play a game.
Yeah.
Stop. And then the Ubisoft Dancing Panda montage for Just Dance.
Yeah.
That was not what we were expecting.
No, but it worked as well because it was a dancing panda for Just Dance.
I didn't realize it was for Just Dance until we got into the area, because that's when you're like, oh wait. Also, I want to add on, just because it was really awkward, when they announced, what was it? No, I forgot the name of the series. Was it one for the Plant Zombies again?
Plants vs Zombies.
No, actual like Plant Zombies, like spores.
Oh, Last of Us.
Yes, when they announced the Last of Us 2 trailer, then they got them to move places, and they took them like half an hour to move the people from one area to another to get them into the scene. Yeah, no.
Yeah,
y'all don't do that.
Yeah. But I like and from a presentation point of view for us, watching it in the live stream, it was a kind of half an hour, well, closer to 15 minutes of actually watching footage from an engine, watching an engine footage.
Mm-hmm.
So for us, not so big a deal, but for people there, yeah, I would definitely say
Like,
that would have been really,
yeah,
really
I spent
awkward.
like over like 500 quid go traveling to Austin. That you're like, no, yeah, can you move over to this bit? You're like, seriously? Because it's not like a assigned seating, I don't imagine.
No.
So if you're like, yes, I'm up the front, then now you have to move. You're like, fuck you.
Yeah.
And my best one, the list has been sullied by time, was the announcement of Fallout 76.
Yeah.
Because that was just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fantastic.
Like a Sid Jared, Country Roads. I was like, oh my god, it was amazing. And then obviously we found out the game, and
Yeah. But here's the thing, like we were saying, I remember we were doing the podcast, we were talking about it, and we were saying, how we believe this game was going to be so good. I mean, just look at how confident, the amazing Todd Howard was on
That's
stage
the thing about Todd.
talking about it, and then, Fallout 76 actually happened, and we were like, oh.
Dude's like legit a snake oil salesman, man. He knows how to get you, and you're like, yes, okay.
But then again, we should have seen it coming. It's Bethesda.
Yeah.
Look at Skyrim, look at Fallout. Look at any Elder Scrolls and look at Fallout. When they release, they are not exactly good games, in the way of, like, quality. Like, I mean, they've got plenty of quantity, they've got plenty of decent characters, they've got plenty of story, but when I say quality, they're still high quality games. It's just like they're full of bugs. They're broken and glitchy and buggy, and it usually takes about 6 months to get the game working. Like, I no longer call a Bethesda release date the release date. I call it the time for the infinite patches to start, and then 6 months later, that's the release date.
Aye, fair point.
On average. But I mean, we're still, even at that, we're like nearly a year past that now, and it's still not good. So
No.
yeah, it's not even Bethesda could fix this one.
76 is dead in the water, much like Anthem.
I mean, another one that would have worked with that one is the way they showcased Anthem. EA showcased Anthem E3, because that looked amazing with the mad graphics and stuff.
Oh,
where it looked like the javelins flew out of the projector and all that. Or last year at E3, Keanu Reeves at the Xbox conference.
I forgot about that. You're breathtaking.
Yes.
Okay, no, I do apologise. That should have been it. Because that was just like, oh wow.
Or when they announced Cyberpunk at the Xbox One in 2018, where Phil Spencer? Yes. Yes, because it's Phil Spencer at Xbox and Sean Lydon at Sony. Phil Spencer was like, and that's us here from Xbox at E3. We hope you all have a good night. And then everything went from green to red, and it looked like they were being hacked. And then it was Cyberpunk, and it was like, oh man, that was so cool. Like, we knew they weren't being hacked. We knew it was something else. We didn't know what game it was at the time until we seen CD Projekt Red's. We all turned red. We should have figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
But part of the line in the code was CD Projekt Red, and yeah, I thought it looked amazing. There was a lot of good stuff from that E3.
Yeah, true.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Fuck yeah, man.
Actually, I think like I wouldn't imagine it was fun being there, but
No.
sitting watching the PlayStation experience there was fantastic. You know, they had the music which fit into like the theme of all the games, and then they talked about the game for a bit, and then they showed you some in-engine footage, and then rinse and repeat for the next game. I thought that worked really well from a watching live stream standpoint. Being in the hall probably wasn't as fun.
New.
Don't you laugh at me.
Sorry, it was just in the call of a wild for Jack.
Shush. And we've got two
Fucking
more.
blinded.
We've got two more news articles. First one, I don't even want to go into. I just want to get the headline out of the way and say, well, I don't think it should be included in any, to be fair.
I don't think it should be a thing, as I've stated repeatedly.
And that is the Kentucky Athletic Association bans Fortnite from high school esports competitions.
Shouldn't be a thing.
Officials have said that the esports scheduling partner didn't clear the game with them or any other state, which means that they can't play it because it's not been approved. KHSSA, which is the Kentucky High School Athletics Association, has said there is no place for shooter games in our schools. And you know what? Yeah, that's fine. But the lineup includes League of Legends, Rocket League, and Smite. And they said no to Fortnite because it wasn't cleared. And you know what? I don't even think Fortnite as an esport should be a thing because it's all RNG anyway. Well, you know, it's not always about what you have. It's about what you have versus what your opponent has, and you could have what looks like the exact same shotgun.
Aye, true.
But you could have a grey one, which is common, and they could have a purple one, which is legendary.
Yeah, I just like it.
So
Simple as, man. Like it.
yeah, not a fan. But yeah, I think the only tournament I like to see involving Fortnite is the Pro-Am. And that's just to see who the AMs are. The amateurs. Because it's always celebrities. I just want to see what celebrities turn up and play. I'm waiting for the day that Snoop Dogg turns up to E3 to play Fortnite while smoking some weed, and then he just sits back while his character's still playing and there's someone actually behind the scenes. Because he'd done that before. He clearly wasn't really enjoying the game and just started talking to the folk in the chat while just smoking some weed, chilling, and whoever was in the background just kept playing. And you know what? No one cared because he is a gamer. He does like playing games. But sometimes you get these streamers who, they're contacted by developers, go play our game, we'll pay you on top of, whatever you get from your usual donations and affiliate status with Twitch or whatever. We'll give you some extra money on top. And, you can see they're just playing and they're not really excited about it. And they're talking, this is really good. I really like this feature and this feature and this feature. But they don't have the excitement about it.
Nope.
So, he's probably kind of that kind of way. But then again, it's Snoop Dogg. You would sit to watch him, have chat with him in the chat. And even if there's a game going in the background, he's not the one playing it.
No, just kind of guy you'd rather sit and talk to as opposed to watch play a game.
Yeah. And Phantasy Star Online is finally going to reach American shores. This weekend, there's a closed beta. It's urgent. You get some consumables and cosmetic items, daily rewards, and you can do urgent quests, which are 30 minutes long in specific locations. Yeah. It's it was originally released on PC in Japan 2012. It's been ported to mobile, PlayStation 4 and Switch, but Sega never localized the game for Western audiences until recently, and I hope that if it goes well in the States, that it'll then come to Europe.
Yeah, we'll see.
Hopefully. But yeah, that's it for the news. We've done our list. We've had a topic. I mean, there's not much left to do now, unless there's anything specific you want to bring up, my man.
No, I'm good, man. That's all done, I think.
That's us done then. That has been it from us here at GamingKin. As always, I've been Jack. This has been Mark.
Bye.
This has been February the 5th, 2020. We've been talking about the best games of the decade, on our opinion. Well, the best of the decade, in our opinion. Spoke about Mass Effect. Spoke about some news. And as always, there's always room for you here at GamingKin. If you want to be our friend,
Ciao.
join us on Thursday, tomorrow, where I will be live streaming the finale of the Mazda Cup over on AOR GT Sports.
Cool.
Where we have news about what we've got coming up for you, and anyone who is enjoying the sim racing content on the channel. Also, we've got news for what's coming up after the Mazda Cup, after the race tomorrow. So yeah, it's always room for you here at GamingKin if you want to be our friend. Stay safe.